What does it take to turn mockery into triumph? For me, it started with a baga cheap, imitation Hermès tote I clutched like a lifeline. Its stitching was uneven, the logo slightly off, but to me, it was a symbol of dreams bigger than the small town I came from. My name is Lena Carter, and this is the story of how a fake bag and a heart full of grit led me to a moment that silenced every doubter. I grew up in Willow Creek, a place where ambition was as scarce as designer boutiques. My mother worked double shifts at the diner, and my father left when I was 6. We made do, but luxury was a word from another world. At 16, I found the bag at a thrift store for $10. It was a knockoff, obvious to anyone with an eye for detail, but to me, it was a piece of a life I wanted, one of confidence, creativity, and possibility. I carried it everywhere, my talisman against the monotony of small-town life. When I moved to New York City at 22, that bag came with me. I'd landed a job as a junior assistant at a fashion magazine, a foot in the door of an industry that dazzled and intimidated me. The office was a glittering maze of sharp heels and sharper tongues. My coworkers, with their authentic Birkins and Chanel flaps, noticed my bag on day one. "Is that supposed to be Hermès?" sneered Claudia, the senior editor, her voice dripping with amusement. Laughter rippled through the room. I flushed but held my head high. "It's mine," I said simply, refusing to let their judgment dim my spark. The bag became a running joke. Lena and her fake Hermès. They'd whisper, loud enough for me to hear. But I didn't hide it. I carried it to meetings, photo shoots, even industry events where I was the invisible assistant fetching coffee. It wasn't about the bag's authenticity. It was about what it represented, me refusal to be defined by where I started. I worked late nights, pitched ideas no one asked for, and studied every detail of the fashion world. I wasn't just chasing a job, I was chasing a vision. One day a chance came. The magazine was covering a Hermès runway show, and I was tasked with organizing the guest list. I overheard the creative director, Elise, lamenting their struggle to find a fresh face for their upcoming campaign. "We need someone real," she said. "Someone who embodies resilience, not just wealth." My heart raced. I'd been sketching campaign ideas in my notebook for months, blending raw emotion with bold aesthetics. That night, I stayed up until dawn, refining my pitch. The next morning, I slipped it onto Elise's desk, my hands trembling. Weeks passed with no word. I assumed it had been tossed aside. Then, on a rainy Tuesday, Elise called me into her office. "Lena, your pitch, it's brilliant," she said. "Hermès loved it. They want to meet you." I froze, clutching my fake bag. Me? The girl from Willow Creek? The meeting was a blur of nerves and excitement. I presented my vision: authenticity over artifice, strength over status. The Hermès team listened, their faces unreadable. Days later, an email arrived. They wanted just my ideas, but me's the face of their new campaign. The announcement hit like a shockwave. At the magazine's next editorial meeting, Claudia unveiled the news, her voice tight. "Hermès has chosen Lena Carter as their new ambassador." The room went silent. Jaws dropped. Eyes darted to my bag, still slung over my shoulder, its imperfections glaring under the fluorescent lights. No one laughed this time. They stared, frozen, as if seeing me for the first time. I smiled, not out of spite, but because I'd proven something to them, to myself. The campaign launched 3 months later. Billboards of me, bold and unapologetic, towered over Times Square, my fake bag replaced by a sleek Hermès original. But I kept the old one, tucked in my closet, a reminder of the girl who dared to dream. The world saw glamour, but I saw the journey: every late night, every sneer, every moment I chose to keep going. What does it take to turn mockery into triumph? For me, it was believing in my own worth, even when no one else did. That bag, fake or not, carried more than my belongings. It carried my story. And in the end, it wasn't Hermès that made me. It was me.